Hi everyone, welcome to Get Ready with me, Louise. So today we're going to be creating this pretty eye look using the Paris Edit by Viseart. I don't know what it is about this palette, but I love it. It's one of my favorite by them. And I think it's just because it's so, I don't want to say boring because it's not boring by no means, I don't think. But yet it is, but it's so pretty and easy, and it looks and is effortless to use. Like there's just something about it that just calls to me. So on these packaging, I did throw some of these away, not knowing that on the back is the names. My bad on that. I do have this one, but some I don't. But as per usual, when I do these palettes, I'm just going to point to the shade. That way, because me saying the name of it isn't giving you an idea of the color anyway. And you may have this palette or something similar to it. Because I'm going to go into this shade first. We're going to start with this one. Because in all honesty, when I was using this palette, there was a palette that I started to think about. And when thinking about it, I thought, well, it makes sense that I like this palette because it kind of is similar to that palette that I like, but in a kind of not duller, but downtoned version of it, you know? But I do think, I mean, obviously, there's no palette that could be released that we don't have some color story of. I mean, that would, I don't even know what kind of palette could be released. Because, you know, every color has got to have been made by now, you would assume. So, I mean, with that said, it's, in theory, you probably have a lot of palettes that look like this, if this is a color story that you're attracted to. And I think I am attracted to this. I'm just building the shade up because it's so very light, but I like the fact that it builds so that you will, you might not be able to see it like on screen, but like I can see it in my mirror. Like I know it's there. I can see it if I'm face to face with someone, you know? And it's a good blending shade to blend out edges and stuff. And I just like to have something down, you know. Okay, so then the next shade I'm going to go into is this darker shade right here. We're just going to go up a little bit. But yeah, I wasn't really sure like what look I wanted to do today, to be honest, or what I wanted to even use. It's a rough problem to have, I'm sure. But, you know, I just didn't know really what I wanted to use. Because I don't have any newer palettes, which is not a bad thing, in theory. But I was kind of like in this cool toned kind of mood that I wanted to create. And I was actually going to go with my Natasha Denona Retro, or Glam. And then I thought about going into the Retro. But then I seen my Viseart palette sitting in the case by my desk where I've been cleaning, and I thought, I haven't used Viseart in a while. Because I am going to try to go through these palettes this year to find out, like, I think I'll keep one palette from every brand, whether, just so that, you know, like, I have the formula. I'm going to go into this darker shade right here now. Just so that I have the formula to compare it to if need be. But I think I'm going to let a lot of these palettes go. And I say that as long as the formula, like, doesn't suck. Because, I mean, there is no need in me keeping something that's no good. And I'm just darkening up this outer corner with this shade a little bit. But I just like the way that Viseart shadows blend and build. It's so easy and effortless for someone like me because I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just, you know, doing my makeup every day. I just like makeup. So I like makeup that works well. And now I'm to the point where I'm kind of getting worried because, like, my favorites I know, and I feel like they'll be in business for, I'm going to go back into the previous shade for a while, you know, but I'm like, well, even if I find my holy grails, it's like, I'm so scared they're going to go out of business. And then what? Like certain palettes I know I won't get rid of anyway. Certain foundations, all that stuff. Like I know I won't get rid of them just for the, because I adore them. Like my Makeup Geek shadows or my Tati Beauty palette. But other ones like my BH palettes, I mean, I like them. I do. But they're not my all-time favorite ones. And then like my Morphe palettes, even though they're not out of business, but you know I don't need all them by no means. Okay, now I'm going to take, and drop my brushes, the darker shade I use for the outer corner, and I'm just going to run it along the lower lash line here. But yeah, I've really been thinking on ways to like figure out this makeup collection, make it make sense for myself, but also to help beginners or just people that like makeup that aren't professionals and aren't, you know, like I'm never going to be a professional. I know this. I don't want to be. I just want to be able to do my makeup, make it look nice, feel good in it, express myself using makeup, you know, all the things. But I don't want it to be difficult either, you know? And I know practice makes perfect, and that is true. Which I think is funny because I have come a long way considering what my makeup used to look like. Well, that can tell you a lot too. I mean, if I've come a long way and I'm still not knowing what I'm doing, maybe I shouldn't. But we all have to start somewhere. Okay. And I just really love this palette. Let me pick that brush up I dropped. Okay, now I am going to go into this really pale pink shade right here. And I'm going to pick up too much apparently. I'm going to pop it on my inner corner. And then a little bit on the lid. Not much, but a little bit. Pretty much sticking to the inner portion. Just because I do, when I do my makeup, I really do like it light in my inner portion. I don't know why. It's a preference, I know. I'm not really quite sure on why I prefer it, but I do. Because I'm not doing it in the, you know, like, to open my eye or anything. It's just like, when I'm looking at the overall look and the color, I feel like it looks better having it there, if that makes any sense at all. Okay, now I'm going to go into this purple shade right here on the end, and I really do love their satin metallic shades. I don't know which one to call them, satins, I think. They're just so pretty in the way they work across the eye. And if you wet them, it makes it even more of an impact. But yet you don't have to, because it gives you that little bit that, you know, you might be looking for. And again, sometimes I'm looking for the bam in your face, which I'd pull out my Pat McGrath for that, you know, or a ColourPop Super Shock Shadow. But sometimes I'm just looking for a little bit of something. Alright, going back into that pink shade, we're just going to even up the eyes. So I have them both going in the same amount. Same ratio, I suppose. It doesn't look like I'm getting it. I keep either taking it too far over or not far enough. Alright, did I get it that time? Maybe. Alright, we can always come back to that. And then I'm going to take this darker gray, I guess, right here, and just a little bit of it, and I'm going to pop it on the outer corner of my lid, just to darken that up a little bit. And I'm just keeping it to the outer corner and on the lid. I got it right. It's so hard to do it though when you done one eye already and then you're working on the other eye. Alright, let's go back into the purple shade. This one right here. Just even it up a little bit. That way I can see what I'm doing a little better. Alright, yeah, I think I got both sides the same. Alright, so now let's go back in with the mattes in reverse order. So we're going to go into this one. No. Wrong brush. We're going to take this brush and go into this color. I always like to go back. I don't know why, but I like to go exactly back over the mattes. Probably, I think in my head to make sure that they're there still. Even though I can clearly see they are. But in my head, you know. Okay, and then back in with the last color. Pull the right brush out. I'm holding all the brushes here for some reason, don't know why. Just to soften. And again, both eyes are not going to be completely even because, well, my eyes just aren't even. They're not symmetrical by no means, shape, or form. That is what it is. Then, I was watching a YouTuber today, and I think it was like their favorites or something, and they talked about Wet n Wild. It wasn't today, but a while back, you know what I mean. But they re-talked about it today on a favorite, and I had bought this a long time ago. The Sima Brown eyeliner thing, and I'm going to use that today to line my waterline and also my top lash line and bottom lash line. Now usually when I do my top lash line and bottom lash line, I always use eyeshadow because I just find that is so easy to do. It's a lot easier than using a pencil in my mind. However, this pencil is pretty easy to use. And I don't know if the brown really goes with this look, to be honest, but it didn't make it look bad, so I was kind of okay with it. And it is pigmented, but not like scary, you know what I mean? And it holds its point really nicely. Like I sharpened it, and it still has a very nice point on it. So I do like that, but yet it's creamy enough to go on the eye. And I'm not really dragging it either, or anything like that. And it's going right across the eyeshadow without a problem. And again, you can barely see it. So it didn't really, bother me much. Because I don't feel like it doesn't look bad with the look, but it didn't hurt the look either. And we'll run it along the lower lash line. And then what I did was I actually then took the same brush that I used for my lower lash line and just smudged that out using the same shade that I used. So this brush with this shade right here, and I'm just going to go over that lower lash line and blend that out. And I will say it blended beautifully. Like you could definitely, and I mean, you have time to play with it, I guess, is a good question. So if you wanted to use that pencil in some sort of like to smoke something out, you definitely could, because you have time to play with it and it blends beautifully, which kind of shocked me. Because usually if they're creamy, it scares me that, hey, I'm going to make a mess. But it didn't. It was great, and it was fairly cheap. But it's by Wet n Wild. Like I said, it's the Kohl Crayon in Sima Brown. So I do like that. I agree. I think it's a great eyeliner, to be honest with you. Okay, then for lashes, we're going to go into the Bite Beauty mascara for my top lashes. And I'm not going all out today. We're not curling them. Or putting on yesterday I went all out. I curled. I put on mascara base, whatever it's called. I can't even think of what it's called now, but the primer. But at the same time, I don't think this mascara needs it. It's such a wonderful mascara. I hate that Bite Beauty went out of business. Okay. That's my first coat. I'm going to put 2 coats on, I think. Okay. And then for the bottom lashes, of course, the Lancome De Conceals, which is over here. I don't know why I put it back, but I did. And I just looked, this palette here is still available on the Viseart website. I think it was $40. And I really like it a lot. I definitely think it was worth $40. But if you can, you know, wait for a sale or something, never hurts to save some money. Or you may have a similar color story at home and try to create this look. I like it because it's purple, but it's not like an overbearing purple look. You know what I mean? Like, it's like an adult version, I guess. You know, that's the way I see this. This is an adult version of purple, where I could be silly and have like a kid version of purple also, which I do quite often. But I just think that this is more mature, more sophisticated, more elegant, put together. I just really like it. And I was in the mood for it. And I'm really glad, actually, that it turned out as well as it did, because I was I'm usually not that lucky, to be honest. When I think of something I want to do, it generally never turns out the way that I think it will. Just put one more coat on the top lashes. And we're done. And again, you can definitely make this look more darker, smokier. But this is about as dark as I can go and feel comfortable and pretty in it. So it worked for me. And I really do love this palette. There are so many pretty looks you can get out of it. And they're all going to be pretty dulled down in a sense, I guess, is, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to be sophisticated in a sense. Elegant. Ooh, I hate this side. Try to put mascara on this side. Well, who am I kidding? Trying to put mascara on either side is almost impossible for me, but hey. I have the most trouble with mascara out of everything, I think. And foundation. And concealer. Well, all of it. I struggle at it all. I'm on a struggle bus, but that's okay. Alright, so I think both eyes look pretty good. They look the same for the most part. As even as they're going to be, I do say so myself. I mean, my eyes are different. that just is what it is. So, and I have astigma, so you know, that's going to make it 10 times worse even. They're really going to make my eyes look different in a sense of that right there. Because even if they were even, they'd still look different to me. And I can't wear my glasses and put eyeshadow on. I don't think. I've never tried it, but I'm pretty sure it's probably impossible. And I refuse to wear contacts. So, for the face, I used, for bronzer, my Marc Jacobs bronzer. Y'all, I found it. Okay, so I had, what was it? Tantastic? Yeah. I found a bronzer in Tantalize. And it's a full one. I guess, I don't know why I never used it, but I'm using it now. And it's a full one. I am so excited. So I am wearing that today. For blush, I'm wearing... What blush did I wear today? Isn't that funny? I don't even know. I forgot what I even put on. No, I didn't. Again, a MAC product. Like I said, I'm going through it. I remember I found that. It is my MAC Mother of Pearl. And I bought this only for the way this looks. Look how pretty that looks. At least to me, it looks pretty. But that's the blush I'm wearing today, and I really enjoy this blush. Highlighter, I'm actually using ColourPop in Jubilee Course from the It's a Small World collection. And then lips, again, ColourPop in Ariel from their lipstick collection. And then I topped it with Lunar Beauty Celine right in the middle. Loving that. And then for foundation, I mixed my Zoeva with my Guerlain La Essential. And this here, well, A, it's really dark, way too dark for me. So luckily the other one's lighter, but this foundation is thick, like thick. And I like it, but I like it better thinned out, to be honest with you. So that is what I have on my face. And then I set my face with my Rimmel under the eyes and my CoverGirl, same one I used yesterday. I'm just retesting it out. The CoverGirl True Blends Loose Mineral Powder. So 405 light. And I've actually like the way that foundation lays. I don't know if it's the Guerlain that I like or the Zoeva. I'm pretty sure it's the Zoeva that I like though. But this video is long enough. I am sorry I've taken up so much of your time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that if you ain't got this palette, you might have colors like it that you could, you know, try out. I always think that purples are scary, but I think if the shadows are done right, you can really create a really pretty look. And I think you could create a pretty look if you've got good shadows. So if you don't have this palette, I highly suggest it. It is a very good palette. I really like almost all of Viseart's palettes. It's just the question of, do you like the color story? You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. Do you like their color story? Because their formula is really good. But that is all I have. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe, ring the bell, hit all. That way you're notified when I upload. I upload every day but Sunday. And I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe and stay healthy. Bye.